In the 1940s, artwork was a symbol of power. Hitler coveted, looted, and collected some of the most influential and priceless pieces of all time. One such piece, Leonardo da Vinci's Lady with an Ermine, is known worldwide today as the ultimate symbol for the Polish people's struggle to survive. Having traveled across borders, been hidden from Russian troops and Nazi soldiers, and ultimately stolen, yet it has also been returned to its rightful home. This piece is dated back from around 1489 to 1490 and was notable for being one of the only 4 portraits of women painted by Leonardo. The others include the portrait of Ginevra da Vinci, La Belle Ferronnière, and the Mona Lisa. The question remains, who is the lady in the painting? Historians believe the young girl posing in the portrait is Cecilia Gallerani, who was the mistress of the duke that Leonardo was working for, Ludovico Sforza. She was about 16 when this portrait was painted, and renowned for her wit and beauty. This painting was commissioned by the duke, and Leonardo was determined to display her as more than just a pretty face. By the way she is represented, with no expensive heavy jewelry and simple hair and dress, it is obvious that she is not a flamboyant noblewoman. Instead, with her faraway, thoughtful glance into the distance, we are given the impression that she is lost in her own thoughts. There was a lot going on in Cecilia's life at the time this portrait was painted, which could be the reason she is depicted so ominously. Previously, she had been betrothed to a young nobleman, Stefano Visconti, but the marriage had been called off in 1487. By the time this portrait was painted, she was feeling very guarded about the Duke's affections. Leonardo was obsessed with studying movement and anatomy. This is shown by the way he captured Cecilia's body in 3/4 view, with her body turned towards the left and her face angled to the right. One hand is caught in the subtly provocative act of caressing the ermine, while the other secures it tightly in the fold of her arm. Her eyes also look straight outside the picture frame, as if gazing at something else that we cannot see. The ermine is twisted around in the woman's arms, following her gaze. These factors depict Leonardo's expertise at the human figure. He captures intense details, from the fur on the ermine, the folds of it in her clothes, and the wrinkles and strained tendons in her hands. There is much symbolism in the piece to lead us to believe that the woman is Cecilia. However, there is much controversy about the fact continuing to this day. The ermine that is being held in the painting might as well be Cecilia's pet, but also holds a special meaning in relation to her love for Ludovico. In 1488, just before this painting was created, he was awarded the insignia of the Chivalric Order of the Ermine by the King of Naples and continued to use the ermine as his personal emblem. He eventually became nicknamed the Ermine himself. The ermine traditionally stands for purity because of its clean white winter coat and its dissatisfaction of getting it dirty. It is said that an ermine would rather face death than ruin its spotless white coat. Ermines were traditionally kept as pets by aristocracy, and their white coats were used to line garments. Additionally, the ermine relates to Cecilia's name as well. The ancient Greek word for ermine is gale, which closely sounds like the first part of Cecilia's family's surname, Gallerani. Traditionally, the ermine also symbolizes the protection of pregnant women, alluding to the fact that Cecilia was pregnant when her portrait was painted. Sure enough, she gave birth to a son acknowledged by Ludovico in 1491. Though she never married the Duke and was eventually rejected, she ended up taking her portrait with her. Lady with an Ermine sustained multiple retouchings. It was first acquired by Prince Adam Jerzy Czartoryski as a present for his mother, Princess Izabela Czartoryski, in 1798, and remained in their Polish family collection. Before then, its whereabouts were unknown. His mother, who did not care for the original bluish-gray background, which was said to have a door in it, had the entire background repainted black. The dress below the ermine was retouched, and her transparent veil was darkened to match the color of her hair. Leonardo's fingerprints have also been found in the surface of the paint, indicating that he used his fingers to blend brushstrokes. The signature Leonardo da Vinci in the upper left-hand corner is not an original, but was added on later. We can learn a lot from Leonardo through this piece. It is revealed that the painting did not always include the ermine that is pictured. In fact, it was created in 3 distinct stages. The first was a simple portrait with no animal. The second included a large gray ermine, and the third reveals the large white ermine in the final painting. This changing process demonstrates why it took so long for Leonardo to complete his paintings. This painting is also important because it has survived and been through so much throughout its lifetime. It attracts the public eye not because of its size, which is relatively small at 21 inches by 15 inches, but because of its war story. It was sent to hiding place after hiding place during the partitions of Poland, spirited off to Germany during World War I, and stolen by Nazis during World War II. Lady with an Ermine is a symbol of survival for the Polish people. When Princess Isabella acquired the piece, she had the idea to create a museum that would help to preserve the national identity of the Polish people. She founded the first public museum in Poland in 1882, courted the estate. Isabella constantly put her life on the line to keep this collection safe. During one occasion, she bricked up the Lady with an Ermine in her cellar to keep it safe from Russian troops. In 1830, during a national insurrection against Russia known as the November Uprising, Russian authorities seized the Czartoryski estate. By then, Isabella was 84, and with help, she moved the Leonardo south to another family property in Sinaia. Shortly after, the painting was sent to Paris and installed in Hotel Lambert, a 17th century palace that served as the emigre seat of the Czartoryski family. After Isabella's death, this family settled in Krakow, which was under Austrian authority. In 1876, the painting was moved from Paris to Krakow, where Isabella's grandson, Władysław, had established the Prince's Czartoryski Museum in the spirit of his grandmother. In World War I, Lady with an Ermine was sent to Germany for safekeeping in the Dresden Gallery, then returned to Krakow in 1920. It remained there until it was spirited back to Sinaia during World War II in 1939 to once again avoid confiscation. Unfortunately, Nazis soon learned of its hideaway, took possession of it, and put it on this display in the Kaiser Friedrich Museum in Berlin. Hans Frank, a German general who was Hitler's head of operations in Poland, saw the painting in 1940 and was so taken with it, he took it back to decorate his quarters at the Wawel Royal Palace in Krakow. The painting was moved to a depot of plundered artworks in Wrocław in 1941 and briefly returned to Krakow for an exhibition at the Wawel Royal Castle in 1943, but Frank, who was apparently smitten with the painting and determined to keep it, took it to his private villa in Schlersee, Bavaria, near the end of the war. A Polish-American commissioner found it at the villa and returned it to Poland in 1946. This piece now remains to this day a symbol of the struggles the Polish people have endured throughout their history. Even though it was originated from Italy, it undoubtedly plays a crucial role in Polish lineage. Lady with an Ermine is now the crown jewel of the Czartoryski Museum and is revered as an inspiration of hope and survival to those who gaze upon it.